Hi, everyone. I have a vision for our sanctuary. I have a vision that that sanctuary could be as beautiful and as full of life and light as we are as a congregation. We are loved in the greater community. People love us for the hard work and for our passion for justice. And they come to our sanctuary and tell me it is dark and musty and they don't like being in our sanctuary. I think that we could attract so many more people if we made our sanctuary look like we are. Please join me in that dreaming, because we are hearing even from our faith development parents that they would come if our sanctuary had more light and was more beautiful. Let's see what we can do. Come at the end of this month and bring your dreams.
Many of you will recall that about 2021, we learned that there was no asbestos in the ceiling tiles. That was a big deal because it was many groups had met over the years to consider improvements to the sanctuary. But if there had been asbestos in the ceiling tiles, it would have really limited what could be done. So an ad hoc group began to meet in 2021 and came up with a series of suggestions about and envisions, tried to envision what the sanctuary might look like. Currently, it's a long, flat ceilinged building with rather poor acoustics and poor lighting, not much natural light and so forth. Numerous groups over the years since the purchase of the facility from the Oddfellows by the congregation had met to envision what they thought the sanctuary might be like. But this is the latest group to have done this. Now, as a result of those cottage meetings, the sanctuary group met and came up with a series of designs after consulting with a building engineer and a professional builder, and consulted and in fact paid for an architect to come up with suggestions about what might be done with the sanctuary. And that is to raise the side walls and front walls 4 additional feet, put in additional structural supports which are required by the engineer, and to basically replace the roof. Take the current roof off, take the extremely complex supports that are now above the acoustic tiles, completely remove those, replace those with a series of scissor trusses, and basically come up with a completely transformed sanctuary. It would be higher, it would have a shallowly pitched roof. It would have long 3-by-8 foot windows along the sides, which would provide natural light. The flooring would, of course, be replaced. And overall, the architect and engineers and various people who are knowledgeable about this feel that the acoustics would be greatly improved.
I hope this video has helped you get a better sense of how this project has evolved. Let me give you an update on recent events and a quick look into the future. On January the 25th, we held a Zoom meeting with a well-qualified and experienced UUA consultant, Rachel Maxwell, concerning how she could assist Granite Peak in conducting a feasibility study. With the board's approval and a congregant's $5,000 donation, we were able to schedule Rachel to come to Prescott to conduct what is called the Next Steps Weekend from April the 28th to April the 30th. Prior to her visit, Granite Peak must collect a wide range of data about ourselves, including governance, finance, pledge history, and much, much more. Over this 3-day weekend, Rachel will be very busy. On Friday, April the 28th, the board and the minister will meet with Rachel. On Saturday, 9 different Granite Peak committees and groups will meet. On Sunday the 30th, after the Sunday service, there will be a presentation by Rachel along with a question and answer session. Then on May the 4th, we should get a written report, which all the congregation will see. And then finally, on May the 7th, after the Sunday service, we will do a congregational vote to move ahead or not with the feasibility study. We all want to know what our financial capabilities are before moving ahead. The feasibility study will allow us to understand just how big a project our congregation can afford. The members of the Sanctuary Transformation Team would like to send a special thanks to Elaine Hayes, Art Gorski, Marianne Clark, and Marianne Erickson for helping put together all the data that was needed.
Since I joined the congregation, I've been quite concerned about our aging demographic and the lack of younger folks joining us. We need their vitality and vision, and we and they need our collective wealth of learned and earned wisdom. I believe this gift of ours, part of our legacy, should be passed on and utilized to benefit the future community. We are all familiar with the old saw that one generation plants trees so that the next may have shade. The upcoming decision on whether or not to proceed with a capital campaign project to do a major remodel of our facilities is a daunting, somewhat scary, exciting, and invigorating adventure. I want to be part of something much larger and longer lasting than myself, and I hope you will make the time for some deep, compassionate, introspective thought and reflection on this upcoming proposal. For myself, I am actually acutely aware that I cannot take anything with me when I go. So what and where do I choose to leave my legacy? Oh, and not to mention that I'd like to think I'm not too old for one last challenging hoorah project.
Now you've heard from members of our Sanctuary Transformation Team, and last month we heard from you in our surveys that you would like to transform this sanctuary. Come and let's see what we can do. Bring your visions. I know that we can make a space that reflects the beauty that we are.
1, 2, 3.
We can do it!